Hi everyone, I'm Juliet, the Scorpion Goddess, and I'm breaking down the astrology forecast for the month of September 2022. So this is going to be your Western tropical astrology forecast. A few days ago I tried recording this video and I just could not get through the intro, so stay tuned to the end of the video to see the bloopers that I have for that. Alright you guys, so I'm trying something new out. Instead of doing What's Up with the Planets every week, this is What's Up with the Planets for the entire month. And if you guys do like this, let me know down below and I'll continue to do this. And as an added bonus, if you guys want to know how it's going to affect you, I can start doing each zodiac sign, and if you guys really do want that, make sure you request it down below, and if enough of you guys do put in this request, I will do it for the following month when we get to October. Now, with that being said, please like, comment, subscribe, and share this with somebody, because us here in Scorpion Goddesses, includes you guys, the watchers, you are part of this community that we've been building up together, and I'm so close to getting monetized, so please make sure you do subscribe if you haven't yet. And when you give this video a thumbs up, it helps boost this video out into the YouTube algorithm so more people can see, you know, the astrology transits. And if you guys like videos like this, make sure you hit the notification bell as well so you get notified anytime I post a video. Once a month for What's Up with the Planets, and then every week for the collective tarot readings that I do intuitively on here also. So to start out the month, I want to show you guys, we're starting out, as you can see up here, we have the Sun in Virgo, the Moon in Scorpio, Mercury in Libra, we have Leo in Venus, and we have Mars in Gemini, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto are all retrograde currently, and these are the outer planets. But you can see Jupiter in Aries, Saturn in Aquarius, Uranus in Taurus, Neptune, Pisces, and Pluto in Capricorn. And what's interesting about this is we're literally in almost every sign, which doesn't happen that often. And when we get to the third, we will then have the moon stationed in Sagittarius. And I know you can't see, but the nodes as well. The north node is in Taurus while the south node is in Scorpio. So this is about 10 or 11 signs. We're just missing Cancer, I think. So that's pretty interesting. We're going to be ending, I'm going to move over here now. We're going to be ending the month with the Sun then in Libra, Moon in Sagittarius. Mercury will then be retrograde in the sign of Virgo, so it moved back a sign. And we will have Venus now in Libra, Mars still in Gemini, and the rest of the outer planets continue to be retrograde in the same signs. So key dates, main dates we want to look out for. If you guys have purchased your Astrology Journal, which goes by the astrological calendar all the way up until March 2023, you will see when you get to in the calendar right here, you'll see how I do this. I do transits, but what we're going to be going over is transits and aspects that I felt stood out pretty well. So key dates that stood out is beginning with September 3rd, where we're going to have Mercury and Jupiter opposing each other. So Mercury at this time is in Libra and Jupiter is in its opposing sign, Aries, which is retrograde. So whenever we talk about retrogrades, we always talk about internal things, going back to the drawing board, going over whatever it is that needs to be taken care of, typically. So with Mercury being your thoughts, ideas, communication, and Jupiter being expansion, magnetism, spirituality, this is going to be, because we're in Libra, which is a very balanced sign, and it's all about compromise. This can be about being careful because they're opposing, you know, seeing like opposite sides. Sometimes they can bump heads and clash. Sometimes you can be open to seeing what's new and what you haven't learned yet. You know, it depends on where you're at, where you're at that day, or where you're at in your life. So with Mercury opposing Jupiter, this can bring in a lot of compromise when you're talking to people, especially when it has to do with maybe like beliefs or higher knowledge or spirituality. You know, you could have a conversation with somebody who has the complete opposite views of you when it comes to how you live your life, how you view the world, you know, what your actual faith and beliefs are. There could be a conversation that needs to be talked about, or there could be a point where you need to express yourself about how you, you know, the beliefs that you have or the knowledge that you have or something you've learned that you want to teach other people, but you got to be careful about how you approach the situation. And then when we get to the 5th, Venus, the planet of love, relationships, money, is going to be moving into Virgo, where it doesn't get along with that well. Venus, so if you have a Venus Virgo placement in your natal chart, don't be like, oh my god, I'm screwed, because that's not the case. There is no terrible placements. It's just you might have a little bit of trouble, or you need to put in a little bit more work if you do have this transit. You know, you got to look at the whole chart, though. You got to see, do you have other things that really balance this out? So, you know, just, I don't like when astrologers be like, oh, you have this. That sucks. They're not really astrologers if they're saying that anyways. But when we have Venus in Virgo, this is going to last for about, give or take, about like 3 weeks. Because then when we get to the 29th, it will move into its domicile, its home sign of Libra. But while it's in Virgo, Venus is about love, comfort. It wants to feel good. It wants to make others feel good. It's good with compromising. It's good with, you know, it just wants to feel happy and luxurious and glamorous and comfortable and beautiful. And when it's in Virgo, it can get to this place where it is nitpicking at, okay, you may have made this amount of money, but you need to pay attention to this, this, and this. And Venus is like, I don't really care about the details. I'm happy where I'm at. And and then Virgo's like, well, you need to pay attention to this, this, and this. You need more structure in your life. You need to plan things out more. You need to organize things more. You know, it's paying attention to the tiny details, and it's like striving for perfection. If you did these things, you would be better. And it's critical, it's criticizing, and Venus is like, I don't want to be criticized. Like, I like where I'm at, and I can work with others in this way. But the Virgo is coming in and being like, well, you didn't do this good enough, or what's wrong with me? So it can give in those things instead of, like, you know, complimenting your partner or the people around you. You might be picking out, well, the things that they did wrong versus the things that they do well. But another thing is, because Venus likes to enjoy things, you may find yourself enjoying more Virgo types of things, where, you know, you're enjoying more of figuring out health and wellness day-to-day routine. You're really focused on the foods that you're consuming to make your body feel better, to make yourself feel better, to get in a better, healthier regimen, and enjoying it and finding a love and a passion within that place. You could also find yourself cooking more home-cooked meals and wanting to do more nurturing and caring for other people in a different way, of like gift giving or something like that, because that's a very Virgo way. It's nurturing, it's caring, it wants to do these things for you. So those are the good traits with Venus in Virgo. So don't think it's just all bad, because it's not. Just remember that there is really no perfection. It's just doing the best you can, and you want to feel good about that and make other people feel good too. Then when we get to the 9th, this is probably honestly like the biggest thing of the entire month. The theme of the month is going to be Mercury retrograde. And no, don't be afraid of it. Don't listen to astrologers or astrology enthusiasts or tweets or TikTok videos of people saying, it's Mercury retrograde, this sucks, hide under a rock, you know, screw everything, my life is going to hell. Don't listen to that stuff, because Mercury retrograde happens 3 to 4 times a year, And it's not something to be afraid of because it happens so often. And when it goes retrograde, it lasts for a few weeks and then it goes back in the right direction it's supposed to be going in. Now, when it goes retrograde, it's saying look back into your past. What are some themes and parts of you and things you've worked on that need a little bit more attention? What have you put on the back burner that you need to look back at and figure out and take care of? And it's also a time, because Mercury rules communication, you might stumble up on your words. You may send the wrong text or email to the wrong person. You may hear from your ex. This could be your ex romantic lover or people from your past in general. They have a tendency to pop up. And this is when Mercury retrograde says, did you learn that lesson, or is there something that needs to be revisited? Typically, you don't want to go back into your old ways because you're working on growing and not backtracking, with going back into old ways. You want to only go back into what are some old projects that I could fix up to do better at. That's when going backwards is good. And, of course, make sure before this transit happens, the best time to take care of your car, pay off any bills you owe, make those conversations and, phone calls that need to be had. Do that. It's best to do it before it goes retrograde because that miscommunication, those delays, accidents do happen a lot more during Mercury retrograde because it's short traveling and then delays as well. So just keep that in mind. And when this is going retrograde, it's going retrograde in the sign of Libra on the 9th. So Libra is very diplomatic. So the way we're going to be communicating may be more in a diplomatic way, and just realizing that, what's right, what's fair, what is justice in this situation, and how can I handle this the best way during this Mercury retrograde. Paying attention to the other people's feelings, but also not so focused on them, but finding that balance between you and that other party that you are interacting with conversations or whatever it is. And then when we get to the 10th, we have a full moon in Pisces, and this is going to be happening at 5:58 a.m., 17 degrees Pisces. And so if you look back 6 months ago when we had that new moon in Pisces, which was March 10th, I believe. I think that's what I wrote. If you look back March 10th, usually like around that time frame within that week, like 3 days before, 3 days after, because when we have new moons and full moons, they're always active 3 days before, 3 days after. So what has come to a completion and a culmination? Pisces is a very spiritual, open, it's a mutable water sign, so it's emotional and it can dab into all different sorts of things. It's very creative, it's very loving, it's very imaginative. So what has come to a completion in those kinds of, areas in your life? And during this full moon in Pisces, we're going to be seeing the moon sextiling Uranus, which is in Taurus. So when the moon sextiles Uranus, this is a very great aspect to have. Uranus is about progression, surprises, sudden changes. And when it's sextiling with the moon, which is your subconscious and your emotions, this is bringing in like, I feel really good and really open to some really positive changes that may come into my life. And like an excitement and like a passionate, loving drive with this, like, surprise. Maybe you'll find out some like news or some secrets may come out as well, but it'll be like something good to like really push you forward. And then we'll also be I have all my notes written in my journal, by the way. That's what I'm reading off of, if you're wondering why I'm looking down. We're also going to be having the moon squaring Mars, which is in Gemini. So this is all mutable energy, and mutable energy has a tendency to just go in every direction because it's mutable energy. It can go anywhere. It can get into this. It's constantly going. And with the moon being in Pisces, that deep emotional feelings, and Mars being in Gemini, where it's got that drive, this can bring in disagreements and arguments and being slick with the mouth and, you know, saying something kind of wild and out there and then being hurt, you know, and you could do this in a way of protecting yourself. Or this can give you that push, that drive, and that motivation to do something you want to do, or, you know, take action on something that has been, you know, kind of pushed aside a bit, because we're still in that, during this time we'll be in that Mercury retrograde season, so we may have that drive emotionally to take action on an old project, because Pisces is all about that creativity, so it can give you that motivation and drive in a positive way as well. And then we also have, where am I at? We also have the moon. The sun and moon will be conjunct, not an exact conjunction, but they're within, I think, 7 degrees. So it's close enough. So it's still considered a conjunction with the sun, moon, and Neptune. So this is about deep spiritual epiphanies. Pay attention to your dreams, where you're daydreaming. I just see this day as being a very, like, meditating, finding and hearing messages, getting more into your intuition and your intuitive side and your third eye opening, and just getting those psychic downloads, because we have these planets conjunct. They're all like crammed up on one another pretty much. But this can also give us a lot of delusion and the rose-colored glasses. We're not seeing the red flags that are there and kind of ignoring it. So that is the downfall of that kind of energy. Now, when we get into the 11th, we have the sun and Uranus trining. So again, well, the sun is the ego. I don't know if I said that in this video, but the sun is your ego. And Uranus is that progression, shock, change energy. And when it's trining, it's a good harmonious aspect, because they're working very well together. And when we see this, this can bring in, where am I? Sun and Uranus, yep. Good surprises. I think this is going to be something, whatever you, like a goal you've been working on going to reach, because this is Earth energy. With the Sun in Virgo and Uranus in Taurus. Earth energy is something tangible, what you can work with, you know, worldly values and stuff like that, what you bring of a value to something, what you can physically touch. And so with this trining, I think that this transit's going to be giving us a good surprise of something, a goal that we've been wanting to reach, and maybe this day we'll finally reach it, and we'll have like a very pleasant gift or something receiving more than what we had expected, or, you know, not expecting to get something so soon, or maybe you've reached this goal of, like, for example, like with me, I'm trying to get my YouTube channel monetized, so maybe on the 11th, who knows, I'll actually reach that, and I'll be surprised because I didn't know it happened this soon, or something like that, with, you know. So that's my example anyways. And then when we get to the we just did the 11th. Oh, so, okay, so panning back, that's what I did. My notes are all over the place. It's because I have ADHD. I'm like, derp, derp, derp. So, when we go back to the 18th, well, not back to 18th, but like I talked about with the 3rd, with that sun and, or not sun, sorry, that Mercury-Jupiter conjunction, or not conjunction, oh my god, but this is that Mercury retrograde, I'm in the pre-shadow anyways while I'm recording this, but that Mercury and Jupiter opposition, we will go back again to that on the 18th, because Mercury retrograde, so it's going backwards, so we're going back again to that, the beliefs and, you know, the communication. You have to be extra careful, even more during this time than when you are in the 3rd, of how you're communicating certain beliefs or spirituality, higher knowledge, if you're taking a quiz or studying something that, you know, or if you're just being very open and expressive with like a lot of thoughts and, you know, ideas, or writing stuff down, whatever it is, because Jupiter expands that. Just be careful of the words you're using, or, you know, if you have ideas coming in that day, you might be like, wow, like, I can make this even bigger, I can expand this even more, network, you know, stuff like that. That's what's happening on the 18th again. And then when we get to the 19th, we're going to see the sun and Pluto trining. So when the Sun and Pluto trine, this is all about power. And because Pluto is, you know, it's about power, it's about destruction, it's about death, rebirth, rebuilding, transformation. So when we have the Sun and Pluto trining, this is like it's all about power this day, and bringing your ego up and showing how powerful you really are and how much you really do stand out, and the intensity and the power that you hold within you, and people paying attention to you, or you just seeing yourself in a whole other light, a whole other dimension on a deeper level. So I actually really, I have a lot of Plutonian energy. So like when this happens, I'm like, yes, I am powerful and strong. And people are like really realizing that, because the Sun, your ego, and it's like it boosts it up. It makes you feel good. This could be some deep-rooted things coming up as well, and using and utilizing maybe some things that have happened to you that have been like traumatic, and using that as a form to like rebuild from and have this kind of rebirth and come out even stronger and powerful, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So I'm personally excited about the 19th. And then when we get to the 20th, we have Venus, which is love, relationships, money, trining Uranus, which is again that progression, surprise, sudden changes. So when these are trining, this is a lot of inspiration, fun ideas. This could be going on a sudden date. This could be an ex-lover. I'm only saying ex-lover because it's Mercury retrograde, so it could be an ex-lover popping up, but it may catch you by surprise. But you know, you might be excited and try it out because you're open to doing something different. Or this could be your current lover or a friend popping up and coming by the house that you weren't expecting, and they like baked you a pie, and I don't know, whatever. It's like a girls' night out, something surprising, something fun, getting a lot of inspiration, and just enjoying the day and having a fun, exciting time. Then when we get to the 22nd, Libra season begins. Not in the beginning of the day though. Libra season will begin late in the day, or in the night I should say. But when Libra season begins, then we're leaving that Virgo energy for the most part of, you know, that health and wellness, day-to-day routines, and we're entering Libra season, where Libra is all about balance, justice, fairness, balancing out their work and their fun life, and having more experiences and trying new things and getting more into a social group, social networks, socializing in general. Maybe you're going to be changing up your wardrobe and getting into, you know, more prettier aesthetics, or you're changing up your style, your hair, your clothes, your shoes, you're getting your nails done, because Libra loves to feel good and look good. And so we can see now we're tapping more into this kind of energy, and being more diplomatic, and, you know, listening and being open to what the other person has to say, and feeding into, oh, okay, this and this and this. Now, what's the fair way to handle this situation, and not getting too emotionally involved into things as well. So then when we get to the 24th, we're going to see Venus opposing Neptune. So when Venus opposes Neptune, Neptune is all about fantasies, illusions, and Venus being that love and relationships. This could be maybe you are fantasizing about a lover or a crush, or about winning $1 million at the lottery. This is just fantasizing a lot of like things that may never happen. You know, this could also be like creating a false reality, but this could also be, you know, leading with your heart and the fantasies that you do have. And why can't I make this real? Why not? If I feel good in this Venus, and, you know, I'm in this fantasy, Neptune, and it makes me feel good, why not? But you just need to be careful of some delusional kind of things, you know, like it's fine to fantasize, but just don't get too lost in the sauce where you lose touch of reality. And then when we get to the 25th, we're having a new moon in Libra. And so this is calling in the new stuff. This is manifesting new things. This is manifesting money, relationships, love, a new social life, whatever it is that you want to manifest. And if you look into the house that Libra is associated with in your natal chart, this can give you a better idea of the themes that will be happening for you during this Venus new moon, this Libra new moon. This is going to be happening at 5:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 degrees Libra. So while this is happening, we're also going to be seeing Venus conjunct Mercury, which is in retrograde. So we have all of these planets, the moon, the sun, Venus, and Mercury, all in Libra. So this is a lot of Libra energy. This is a lot of diplomatic, fairness, justice, love, social, all of that kind of energy happening. So when we have the Venus conjunct Mercury, which is retrograde, this can bring us to go back and revisit maybe some tough conversations that need to be had, because Mercury being retrograde, it's taking us back. And with the Venus, it's like it's revolving, because Libra is all about relationships of all kinds. It's not about the self, it's about the partner and the people around them. So Mercury retrograde is like, maybe there's a conversation I need to look back at, revisit, and have with this person or this group of people. Maybe something wasn't justified correctly and we need to rehash this. This is going back into something that may have happened in the beginning of the month, and this conversation needs to be had again because maybe the other person didn't hear you, or you know, something just doesn't feel right, and you're just trying to find the best, like, equality way to handle a situation. And this is under the new moon. This can also be fun, loving, playful energy too. And then when we get to the 26th, we're going to see Venus trining Pluto. And this brings in Pluto intensity and Venus love. So this can bring in, and it's trining, so it's good. So this could be the day to really spark up that fire, that reignite that romance, have, you know, that intensity is going to be felt and wanted and needed and reciprocated on this day. So maybe you had that conversation with this person, and then when we get to this day, it's like, I'm so glad we had this. You know, it's going to bring that intensity. And sometimes people like have a fear of the word intense, but intense is deep feeling, and feelings could be of anything, you know, an intense love, an intense happiness, and just an intense anything. It's intensifying and bringing in, you know, maybe you're feeling more power within your relationships with people as well. Maybe you're feeling more powerful with how you're handling your money. You know, maybe you're like, I've been doing really good, let me do something nice for myself, you know. But it's also like, what can I do long term as well? And then when we get to the 27th, we have Mercury, which is still retrograde, trining Pluto. And this is all about your deep-rooted growth. So stuff from your past coming up and seeing how much you've really grown and changed, and where you're at in your life right now, and how that's really like things have been like unfolding for you, and just making some long-term goals that you really want to have happen that really connect to the soul, and rebuilding and seeing the growth of where you're at now. And then when we get to the 28th, we have Mars trining Saturn, which is, Mars is in Gemini and Saturn is in Aquarius. So this is logic, this is the mind, this is mental stimulation. Mars is action, aggression, passion. Saturn is time and what the hell is that word? It's like this. It's determined, it's karmic cycles. And so when you put this together, they're trining, this is giving you that energy to take on something that may feel a little bit difficult or need extra work. And you are finally feeling like, I am mentally prepared to take this new task or this old task, whatever it is, finally on, because I have the mental capacity, I have that motivation and drive to take this thing on. And this could be a long-term thing, just because Saturn is, it's about long-term goals. It's very serious about what it does. It doesn't play any games, and this is about karma as well. And Mars is like, I'm ready to take this action. I have that drive. I have that motivation. And with the Gemini and Aquarius, it's mental stuff. So you could be mentally prepared and ready to take on something. And then when we get to the 29th, we're going to have Venus enter its home sign of Libra. So Venus is going to be leaving Virgo after it was there for about 3 weeks, and then it's in Libra. So this is going to make you feel a lot more comfortable. So if you had some stressful times within those 3 weeks of Venus and Virgo, now that it's in Libra, it's like, oh, I can relax, I can breathe now. You know, I can finally feel more comfortable. I'm not really nitpicking at a lot of things, and now I can just really like bask in my amazingness, and I feel pretty and all of that kind of stuff. This was What's Up with the Planets, and comment down below what's going on with you for September. What projects are you going back to look on? What are you looking forward to with this entire month? Do you have a favorite transit? And I'm curious to know, where do you have Venus and Libra at in your chart? Or I said Venus and Libra. I meant, where do you have Virgo? And see, that's that pre-shadow Mercury retrograde. So where do you have Virgo and Libra in your chart? And if you made it this far, comment what should we comment? Comment a flower of any kind down below if you made it this far. And I'll catch you guys on next month's thing. And like I said, if you're interested in seeing how it's going to affect your sign, comment down below if you want to request that. And if enough of you do, then I will definitely do each zodiac sign for the month of October. What's going on, you guys? So this is What's Up with the Planets. I'm gonna fucking start over. Alright, you guys, so what the fuck? Hey everybody, I am Juliet, the blah blah. Hey you guys, I'm Juliet, your Scorpion goddess, and this is What's Up with the Planets, where I break down the astrological forecast and the oh my god. Hey everyone, I am Juliet, the Scorpion goddess, and I am doing what? Oh my god! Fuck. Yo, this is fucking ridiculous. I can't even do my fucking intro. I'm getting so aggravated. Hey everyone, I am Juliet, the Scorpion goddess, and I'm doing What's Up with the Planets. I gotta say that first. This is What's Up with the Planets, where I break down the astrology forecast of the month of September 2022. I am Juliet, the Scorpion goddess. I am a Western tropical astrologer using the whole What? Oh my god. Why is this taking so long? We're in the pre-shadow. Come on. This is a basic ass intro.